Lawrie, congratulations first of all.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel?
When I got the phone call about the position, I'd actually forgot what I'd put in for. You know, and to get named as the chair of regional development, you know, on the coast was quite proud. You know, it's similar when you got the mayor's gig. You know, it was like, oh, I'm the mayor, and what do I do? I remember sitting that night in council going, well, what do I do now? And when I got the phone call from the Newcastle state government offices, it was nice. I phoned Christine up and said, I've just been given the chair position at the RDA, and she went, oh, congratulations, what do you do? I said, oh, I'm not sure yet, I'll find out very soon. But no, it was a proud moment, and it's just nice. I've been here, although I've been up in Newcastle, I'm still living here in Terrigal, and the coast means a lot to me. So if I can help in any way, obviously I wouldn't say I'm outspoken, but I like communicating, I like mixing, I like sharing things and getting things achieved. So it was a very proud moment.
You got a lot on your plate. Why did you apply for this?
Got a big plate. You know, got room in the plate. If you've got room in your plate, put stuff in there. So yeah, everybody's busy, and you know, and I've always been busy, but if you feel strongly enough about something, you make time for it. And it's not a paid position, it's not a full-time position. It will be what I can put into it, and the first few months will be a lot, you know, just who's who in the zoo and getting all the meetings set, which has started already. But, you know, it's just something I want to do. I'm only a young man, I'm only 59, I'm not quite hitting 60, so if I was 60 then I would have probably retired and not done it, but I'm only 59, so I've got 6 months up my sleeve.
What are the 3 reasons that would float through your head as you were applying? Top 3.
Well, jobs on the coast, and again, we can't make the jobs, but we can attract people, help attract people to the coast for employment to get more jobs, because I think there are 44,000. When I was at council, it was between 36 and 40,000 going to Sydney every day. Well, now the figure's 44,000. So if we can stop some of them, and I know there's some developments ready to go that have been on the cards for 6 years, waiting on approvals, and I think once the project's finished, it's 630 jobs, full-time jobs on the coast for people who live on the coast. You know, that's scandalous. I had a meeting this morning about it, and when you hear that it's been ready to go, you sit and go, why? Why has it not happened? And so that's one of the big things is, and credibility. You know, I think Central Coast gets papped to the side too much. You know, we've got Newcastle up the road, and I work there most days. You've got Wollongong. You know, there are a lot of funding goes to these areas. Well, why not the Central Coast? We've got a lot to offer, and with what's happening in Sydney now, with the amount of people who's relocating up to Sydney now. And if you can relocate here, in the past it was you relocate, you buy a house cheaper than you had in Sydney, but you still travel to Sydney for work. Well, why? Why travel to Sydney? Surely it's the quality of life that you can get on the coast and bring up young family, and that's another big reason. And the other reason is I could do it. You know, it's like, well, I'm not going to blow my trumpet and say, oh yeah, I'll do a good job, I'll do this, I'll do that. I think what I'll bring to the table is I sit back and look and go, well, you've got the chambers, you've got the RDA, you've got a few other organisations, you've got the council. Why are we not working together? You know, that's the first thing I thought to myself when I applied for the job. You've got all these agencies, councils, state government, federal government. Why are we not doing it as collective? As a football coach on the coast, you only succeed when you've got a good team. I think at council, when we was here, when I was in for the 4 years, we succeeded because we're a good team together. Okay, you have your differences like anything, but if you're going with one collective voice, all of a sudden, if you've got all these people on the coast shouting the same message to the government, whether it's state or federal, people have to listen. If it's one out, same as if one councillor is at council saying the point you've not got the support of the other 12 or whatever the amount is, you don't achieve anything.
What's the message that you want to shout out? What's your first message you want to shout?
Give us credibility up here, and we'll get credibility, in my opinion, if we work together. If you work together and present that to local government, federal government, state government, I think you'll get outcomes, because the funding there, it's just where it goes. And we want, and I know the RDA at the moment do really well with funding, but I think we can do better.
Why are we so behind? Why is it taking 6 years to get a single development up? That's unacceptable.
That was just one case.
It's an indication of what's going on.
Well, there are different levels at government and different sticking points. And well, okay, if they are, and I know with council, when we were here, if there were a problem and that, can you solve that problem? Can you help people navigate through that so it's a good outcome, rather than saying no straight up? Let's look at it and go, well, okay, what do we need to do to make that possible? And then work with government and work together, and if it's achievable, let's achieve it. If that's for the benefit of the coast, let's do it. Going back 16 years ago when I moved to the coast, when I was the coach of Central Coast Mariners, we started training in March 2005, and we used to walk about Mangara Club with our gear on, and people would say, "Who are you?" I said, "We're the Central Coast Mariners." "What are they?" "They're a football team." And I think over the years, the Central Coast Mariners done a lot for the identity of the Central Coast. And they made, wasn't it Wyong and Gosford, it was the Central Coast, and people were proud to support our team. You know, that was brand, and that was recognition to the Central Coast. And I think if you combine all different levels of government and that, and go in with one voice, you've got a better chance to achieve things. It's just great to be back involved in the community again, and hopefully it can make a wee difference. But the people I'm working with can make a difference. Together we can make a difference, and that's my big thing, is we'll achieve a lot of things together.
How are you going to juggle that with your role at the Jets?
No, the role at the Jets it's a big role, and obviously we've had new owners come in. The 4 A-League clubs have come in and bought the club, and they've brought in an executive chairman, so I'm no longer CEO, so I'm general manager now, and he's the boss, and he's been great. And I told him about my new gig, and he was great. He said, "Oh, that's great." And I know there'll be some people who will hammer me because I'm all for development, but they've got their choices, I've got my choice, and I want to see Gosford prosper. Not just Gosford, the Central Coast. You know, Central Coast is a beautiful region, and I think we're very lucky to have a lot of things we've got, but I think we deserve a wee bit more.
When you're driving in your car and you're sitting there and you look around, honestly, what upsets you?
People talking the place down upsets me. You know, when you hear, Main Street of Gosford, it's a nightmare. Shops are all empty, and I drive down here, there's some shops empty. I go up to Newcastle, a lot of shops empty. You go anywhere, there's shops empty. There's been a pandemic, you know, things actually change a wee bit. So that upsets me when people talk it down. Same as football, when people attack your team and they've no idea what's went on behind the background. So that upsets me, that people don't give Central Coast a chance before they just say, it's because it was like that 10 years ago, it was like that 20 years ago. Things change.
People don't like change, Lawrie. How are you going to tackle that?
As a coach, you have to change with times. Like now, if I went back coaching, I would have to change how I coached for 10 years ago, because everything changes. If you don't change, you get left behind, and we don't want to be left behind. We're behind enough, we're chasing the tail as it is, so we can't afford to be left behind. So we have to change. We have to change with times. Every city in the world changes. When I was a coach, I thought as a fan, because I was a football fan. I became a coach, so I would relate to the fans. When I become an administrator, you actually relate to the fans. When I became the mayor, I thought as a ratepayer. Well, I pay rates here, so how's that going to affect me? How am I going to do it? So I break things down really simply, and if I'm here, living and working here, what do you want? I want to see a thriving shops. You want to see Tugger Shopping Centre, Erina Shopping Centre busy. You want to see the main street of Wyong with punters in it, sitting in the cafes, down in Gosford. There's some amazing food businesses up here.
Well, when it comes to local government areas, we're pretty relegated at the moment, aren't we?
Definitely, but a person from Newcastle today, very well-known person in football in Newcastle, nothing to do with Jets, was at Soldiers Beach at the weekend, and he says, never been there. What an amazing place. And this is a guy who comes from Newcastle, who's got Lake Macquarie, you've got all the beaches, Merriweather, and he said, never knew it existed. Amazing.
What's your gem? Where's your spot? Do you have a spot that you...
Yeah, here.
Why?
No, because obviously I lived in, I moved into Terrigal and I came back from China. For 16 years I wanted to swim, and I wanted to swim, and I would never do it because I'm scared of sharks and I couldn't swim. Now I come down here every morning on my bike, I jump in the water, I swim out to Boy, I socialise out there, I socialise at the Surf Cafe, get my banana bread most mornings, and I cycle home, and it just starts me off. And I come down that hill every morning and I look and go, you could be anywhere in the world. The people on the Central Coast don't realise how good they've got it. If we can get more jobs, there's more infrastructure in place, why would you want to live anywhere else? I always think Aussies and people for the coast are the first ones to put them down. They don't realise how good this place is. I realise it every morning at 5:45 when my wee legs are pedalling up that hill, and then coming down there and looking and see what the waves are like, going, how good's this? I love my mornings. I love that. It just makes me the rest of my day. And I love my 2 years when I stayed up in Newcastle. It was great, fantastic, and it's a great city, but I'm happy we were a wee gem on the coast.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lawrie, for the coast.
Thank you.